Alright, it's been a few days since the first developer beta of visionOS 2.4 dropped, and I just thought I'd make a video, talking about not just what's new, as there are many other videos that have already done that, but instead I thought I'd focus on these features in the context of where I see the Vision Pro moving in the future, as well as in the context of my previous video, as this update helps to mitigate a big concern raised in my one-year review. Now, I'll still go over all the features and changes in visionOS 2.4, but this isn't going to merely be a what's new video. So, if you have a Vision Pro or just want to hear about the new features coming and what it all means, be sure to stick around. Apple announced various features coming to the Vision Pro via a press release last Friday, and also seeded the first developer beta of visionOS 2.4. The release date is the first thing that should be noted, because Apple almost never releases software updates, beta or otherwise, on Fridays. In fact, I was doing some light research and failed to find a single previous instance of Apple releasing a software update, other than an emergency security update, on Friday in the last 5 years. But I'm sure one of you will be more than happy to correct me in the comments if I am mistaken. Regardless, the point is that the rarity of Friday releases gives credence to the claim that this was a rushed update, with fixes and changes being made up until the moment of release. Mark Gurman reported last week Wednesday that visionOS 2.4 beta, along with the other betas, were supposed to be released last week Tuesday, but were pulled late in the game due to engineering reasons. Apple's software releases seem to be happening quite unpredictably. The subsequent release on Friday and the delay of the last major Apple Intelligence feature, which is Siri knowing your personal context and being able to perform in-app actions, those features were delayed until iOS 18.5. And this makes it all the more clear that this was a rushed release. Alright, so let's talk about the update itself. I want to quickly talk about what's new in visionOS 2.4, but mainly focus on what it means for the future of the Vision Pro and what you can do with it. The first major feature change is that Apple Intelligence finally comes to the Vision Pro. I'm sure you're all familiar with Apple Intelligence, so I'm not going to spend time going into depth on what all the features are and how to use them, but all I will say is that on Vision Pro, they are about as useful or useless as they are with the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. There's nothing new here with the Vision Pro. It's not like the Vision Pro is able to utilize Apple Intelligence features in a unique way that takes advantage of spatial computing. It's basically the same writing tools, image playground, Genmoji, and notification summaries we have on other devices, but brought to this one. In fact, the Vision Pro is still missing certain features that are available on other devices. The most notable is visual intelligence. The Vision Pro seems like the perfect device for visual intelligence. I should be able to look at something while wearing Vision Pro and ask Siri what it is. If for no other reason, because I can't tell what it is since pass-through is so bad I genuinely don't know what I'm looking at. There's also no ChatGPT integration in Siri like on other devices. It's only usable to generate text using writing tools. And lastly, there is no cleanup tool in Photos, but that's no surprise considering you can't even crop or edit a photo on Vision Pro at all. You do get the ability to create memory movies and photos, and these have actually improved quite a bit across the board since the feature was first rolled out, but it's still not something I almost ever use. Regardless, it's nice to finally get some of these Apple Intelligence features on the Vision Pro. I actually use the proofread writing tool quite a bit to get rid of misspelling and grammar errors. I used it for the script of this video. But other than that, I basically never use any of the other Apple Intelligence features, and I actually turned off notification summaries as they're often so inaccurate and unreliable that it's actually more work for me to skip past the AI summary and just view the notification or message. Alright, enough said there. Perhaps I'll do a whole separate video on Apple Intelligence if people are interested, but regardless of how useful or useless these features are, it's nice to at least have some of them on the Vision Pro. The next major change is that Apple is bringing 2 new apps to Vision Pro and the iPhone respectively. There's a new Spatial Gallery app for the Vision Pro, and there's a Vision Pro app for the iPhone. I first want to note that there seems to be some confusion about these apps, as many people don't see them and can't find where to download them. This is expected, as they haven't been released yet. Apple doesn't always roll out every feature in the first developer beta. It's likely that these apps will be rolled out sometime between now and the public release in April. So with that being said, let's first talk about the Spatial Gallery app. visionOS 2.4 introduces Spatial Gallery, a new app that features a selection of spatial photos, spatial videos, and panoramas curated by Apple for the Vision Pro. With Spatial Gallery, users can enjoy many breathtaking and intimate moments spanning art, culture, entertainment, lifestyle, nature, sports, and travel, with new content that they say will be released regularly, but I'm not sure I trust them when they say regularly after this slow and sluggish rollout of Apple immersive content this past year. At launch, users will be able to discover remarkable perspectives from photographers, new stories and experiences from iconic brands including Cirque du Soleil, Red Bull, and Porsche, And what I'm particularly excited for is behind-the-scenes moments from Apple TV Plus shows like Disclaimer, Severance, and Shrinking. This could be really cool if done correctly. I've heard people say they'd love to watch parts of Severance in immersive mode if that was an option, and I totally can't wait to see what they've come up with. But whether this actually enhances the Vision Pro's appeal, or just becomes another Apple-curated showcase, remains to be seen. They're also releasing a Vision Pro app for the iPhone. This app, which seems rather reminiscent of the Apple Watch app on the iPhone, will enable users to queue apps and games to download, discover new spatial content and experiences, easily find helpful tips, and quickly access information about their device from their iPhone. There's going to be a Discover page that offers curated recommendations for new and noteworthy experiences available on Vision Pro. Users can quickly see popular apps and games on the App Store. They can see nearly 300 3D movies, Apple immersive titles, and more content on the Apple TV app. And they can see the latest spatial photos, spatial videos, and panoramas featured in the previously mentioned Spatial Gallery app. Now there's going to be a My Vision Pro page where users can find tips for getting the most out of their Vision Pro. They can easily access information such as their current visionOS version and device serial number, and set up things such as personalized spatial audio. Users with vision correction needs will be able to store and view the app clip code for their Zeiss optical inserts in the Vision Pro app. I don't use optical inserts, but I've heard from those that do that having to keep track of that little card with the QR code to pair the optical inserts can be a bit of a pain. This seems like a nice solution, being able to look at the code on your phone instead of having to keep track of that little card. So this seems like a cool app. My Vision Pro often remains plugged in when I leave it at home, so it'll be nice to be able to update the software of the Vision Pro from my phone, download apps and movies, and see information about the device without having to actually put it on. I very much look forward to testing this app once it's officially out. All right, and last and most certainly not least, let's talk about my favorite new feature coming to visionOS 2.4, a revamped guest mode. I first want to clarify that this is not in the Vision Pro app coming to the iPhone later. This is entirely separate and is currently available on the first developer beta. If you've watched my other couple of videos, particularly my 1-year review, you'll know I have some particularly strong opinions about the guest mode and demo process. As I said, I've given countless demos to friends and family, and the experience is riddled with difficulties and roadblocks. You have to mirror your view before taking the headset off, put the device into guest mode, have them set up eye and hand tracking, help them navigate through the OS with no ability to remote control the device if they get stuck or can't figure something out. And if screen mirroring gets connected on accident, or if you have to manually end screen mirroring so they can actually watch any of the Apple immersive videos, or really any TV shows or movies for that matter, you have to go through the impossible task of blindly guiding them to reshare their view. You can't even initiate screen mirroring from another device. I genuinely do not understand why Apple makes it so difficult to share this device. Well, it seems like Apple must have watched my video because they have seriously improved the guest mode and demo experience. Now, don't get me wrong, there is still a lot of room for improvement, and many of my criticisms still stand. But considering the bar was basically on the ground, I'm still very happy with these improvements. The first change is you no longer have to enable guest mode before handing off the device. In order to enable this feature, you have to go to Settings, Optic ID and Passcode, and enable guest user with a nearby device. You then select your iPhone or iPad, which will also need to be unlocked, updated to the 18.4 beta, and signed into the same Apple account as your Vision Pro for them to connect. After that, if you give someone your headset, when they put it on, it will obviously try and fail to scan their eyes. When it fails, it will display a message under the passcode keypad that says press digital crown for guest user. Once you click that, this screen pops up on the Vision Pro telling you to wait for approval on the iPhone or iPad. A pop-up message is sent to your iPhone or iPad, and it's very reminiscent of the pop-up you get when you first set up the Vision Pro. And then on your iPhone or iPad, you can select the apps for your guest to have access to. Though I just allow all apps because I don't want to run into any issues, and I can always see what they're seeing as well and end the session at any time. And after you select apps for them to view, it automatically starts mirroring the view to your device. You can end screen mirroring by clicking the X in the top left corner of the video feed on your device, and then the screen mirroring toggle goes into the dynamic island. You'll still need to end screen mirroring while watching copyrighted content like Apple immersive videos, but at least now you can easily resume screen mirroring by just tapping the dynamic island. If you're using a phone that doesn't have a dynamic island or using an iPad, if you disconnect screen mirroring, the toggle to re-enable it is in the notification center, which you can access by swiping down from the top. You can also end the guest user session and lock your Vision Pro at any time by clicking that X. This will end the guest user session, and the user will be prompted to authenticate with Optic ID in order to continue. These are really great improvements that will make demoing so much better. The main hurdle was screen mirroring with DRM copyrighted content, because then, like I said, you'd have to stop screen mirroring in order for them to watch any of the Apple immersive videos. and since it was nearly impossible to blindly guide them to reshare their view, it meant I would save Apple immersive content for the end of the demo. But ideally, it's best to wow them as soon as they put the headset on. So that solved a major issue. With that being said, Apple, I hope you're watching this video as well, because I still have some requests and things that would make the guest mode even better. For one, it would be super nice if I could remote control the device and launch apps in guest mode. In my review, I spoke to the intuitiveness of the OS, and that's still very much the case. But when you're giving a demo, you want to reduce friction as much as possible. Here's what I would ideally want from Apple in terms of the guest mode process. The guest puts on the headset, holds down the digital crown to align the displays, and they're in. No eye or hand tracking. I then would be able to control everything from my iPhone or iPad. It would be as if they're at the movie theater, and I'm controlling what they see and hear. Now, I understand there may be some difficulties with this solution, the biggest one being due to foveated rendering. Eye tracking is required to fully render wherever you're looking. But even if that's the case, maybe only doing one round of eye setup, maybe full eye setup is necessary, I really don't know. Regardless, allowing me to control the device while there's a guest using the headset would be incredible. Like I said, reducing the amount of time between when they put the headset on and start watching an immersive video is crucial to showing people how magical the device is. Also, this device is heavy, and your guest is using a light seal that is fitted for you, not them. So they're likely to experience facial discomfort much faster, which is all the more reason to reduce the amount of setup time as much as possible, and the amount of time it takes for them to figure out navigating the OS. The less time between when they put the headset on and start watching an immersive video, the better. So that about sums it up. I'm excited to see more features roll out in the subsequent betas, and I'm very happy with these guest mode improvements. Feel free to check out these two videos if you want to watch my full review, as well as tips and tricks to get the most out of your Vision Pro. I look forward to continuing to see this product improve and also continuing to make Vision Pro and Apple-related content. So please drop a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more Vision Pro and Apple-related content. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.